Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. Today we're going to be looking at a whole bunch of ships built in our community. A bunch of new nice ships that were designed by a lot of our people here in Discord. And we want to take a look at them and see if we can maybe touch up on them or do any types of touch-ups or improvements on any of them. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this. So we're going to go over here and pull in their basic ship like we always do. We'll clear everything off. And then let's go ahead and let's look at Zonkul's first ship, shall we? So one of the first ships that we're looking at right here, I love the paint design and even the section between two ships. This is such a neat, I don't even know what to describe right here. That's kind of neat. It's literally two separate ships where you have the engine and you have this right here. So if they were to hit here, it's still kind of hard to wipe that piece out, but it kind of looks neat. I like how this is all designed right there. I am going to save this ship here, and let's come over here. Hello Zonskul, welcome. And let's come over here and let's make a new one. New ships 3. Perfect. Let's put this in here. I'm actually quite interested in how this performs versus itself. This is an interesting looking ship. I actually like how it can move and turn, and it reduces a ton of weight because it's literally two different sections. The flat cannons are literally stopping it from hitting each other. That's pretty neat. Okay, are these set to just defend? They are set to just defend. Alright, here, let's give it another shot. What is this? 700? How does this do versus a simple 2 cannon? We'll do simple 2 cannon for right now. Because the lasers, well, you should still be able to stop lasers and disruptors. We'll see how that does. If there's enough lasers and disruptors, it looks like some of them still get through. And that's the whole reason why I have a mixture of lasers and disruptors on both sides. And then once you take out enough of these flat cannons, yeah, did you just see that? See, after that one flat cannon went, the whole thing just went boom. That's something to think about right there. This is a weak point right here, because if this goes, you saw how everything else chain reacted and went boom with it too. So honestly, if you move this up just a tiny bit, now I know I'm changing the whole thing, but move it up so that there's a little bit less of a boom. Now I know there's probably a ton of dedications and everything, but hold on. Let me actually check to see if there's dedications. Okay, there are no dedications for that. And there are no dedications for that. So moving that's not a big deal. I would move it all up just to have that change a little bit. Save the ship design. It doesn't necessarily make it a full-on fully better, but let's just do 1.1. I want to see. What does this do? What does it do? What does a 1.1 do? I want less of a boom risk. I still think it can go boom. Obviously you have to put in a bunch more sulfur there. No. You see how there's still that boom risk? You see how literally the whole thing just went. So you'll want to think of redesigning that a little bit if you're really are gonna use flat cannons. But you saw how the whole thing just went kaboom? You lose this one or you lose this one, and it just goes, it just disappears. See that chain reaction? It just, everything's gone. So think about whether or not you really do want to use flat cannons or not. I love the idea, but you definitely might want to reconsider that. I don't know how to fully fix it right this second without just removing the flat cannons in full, and then just adding in 4 cannons instead of that. But I mean, versus each other, they're really great, right? If you come over here, and the idea of versus each other is great, the original. I love the idea. But when you face it versus one of my ships that have both lasers, disruptors, and cannons, it's a pretty easy boom point just by just taking out this flat cannon or this flat cannon, because it's a chain reaction that can go. But the idea, see how they stop each other? I love the idea. It's a cool idea. And I love the paint design, by the way. It's a really cool paint design. The outside of it, the inside of it, the color contrast, it's really pretty. Alright, let's move to this other ship. I'm actually really excited about this one. This one actually looked really cool to me. So, Zonskul has this ship right here. And this ship right here has just these, just 100 command points, but he utilized it to a full extent. So what we really want to do here is I'm going to save this ship here. I am interested in exactly how fast it does fly, because it is a smaller ship, but it probably flies a little bit slower just because of armor. But I think it goes, how fast does it go? 51-ish? 52? Slowly climbing up there, 53? That's not bad. That's pretty good. Alright, let's pull it in here and let's see exactly how it fights versus itself. That cost is definitely, with only 38 crew, in comparison. I love the shield. This is definitely a tiny little brawler. This is not a ship you would want to run into full. Okay, you see this right here? They're not aiming at the tip of the armor for that one. Now they are aiming there, but they're mainly, once you lose these lasers, you're losing half your damage. You just lost one there. And this one right here. So armor to front ratio for the AI, you might want to shave off just a tiny bit more armor. Just so they aim right here first. You see how once they aim here and then they'll just keep firing? But you see how they just took out all your laser power right there? So here's a tiny recommendation already. You just want to add a tiny bit more armor right here. I know you're keeping the design right here, but what I would do here is add just a tiny bit more protection here, avoiding that, and then even layer stacking this here like this. Actually, you know, let's layer stack it like that. That way it's a little bit more. I'm more concerned about, let's do that. Let's place that there, let's place that there, and then put the tiny pieces of armor. And then I just want to add 3 layers to that. Now here, right here, I would shave off just a tiny bit more, just so they're shooting right down the middle. And then you can curve this out. You can curve this out just like that. Now I know the shields are right there, and this is where you can actually add in something more. That way we're adding in a focal point so that they can shoot down this. And then you could probably change these as well. I know you have some slight armor there. And just a little bit more. Just give it a little bit less weight. We'll see how this does. I want to save this ship as 1.1 already. Let's see how 1.1 does versus its predecessor. So we just changed the front armor, so we literally have forcing. I want the AI to force to shoot down here. You can see how they're focusing that? That's what I want. And I wanted them less to focus this, because as soon as you lose your lasers, that's a big problem. Because you see this one right here? Focus down lasers, it's gone. Focus down lasers, it's gone. So all we did was reduce just tiny bit more armor here, and I want them to focus this. That's what you want the AI to do. And that's when you test your ships versus each other, you look where the AI is actually shooting. When you put the armor here, it makes this less of a focus point, and I wanted this to be more of a focus point. Now if you want to add more layer stacking in the armor right here, you can still. But you notice right here, I already took out half his damage. And if you're controlling, you see right here, because this is slanted, this still is a target. That's why I added a 2-piece here to make it less of a target. But I guess here's the other problem too, is because I reduced the armor, it still looks like it lost. So, how do we fix that? Did I make it worse? Let's look at this. Layer stack, armor, armor, armor. What if we were to, instead of that piece, I know I added a point. I don't really like the point. Okay, we have this there. Let's resave that. I want them to focus this. The shields are definitely placed really nice, just like that. See how the shields are there? So I did still reduce the armor. They are focusing down the middle. That is good. They're both focusing down the middle. I am worried about that power. See how the power is not fully distributed? You have the space to add more walkways. There's not enough speed going in and out to power these. See how these are not firing? So all you have to do is expand this out a little bit more so you can have walkways. Because you see your power core is always red, but these are not always powered. So they're walking all the way here for this. Here, let me just show you the difference. Right? So if I were to take a ship that don't even have one in the 2200, I don't have anything in the 2200 range for that aspect. But if I were to take a pure combat ship, like this one right here, and face it versus it, look at the walkways, right? And look how they can this can constantly fire. Now they have a very similar amount of lasers. This one just has one extra smaller one. And yours should, in a theory, win because it definitely has more armor. But look how this one's performing. Do you see how it's still going? And it even costs less. But I have people literally where I have most of my bigger lasers kind of firing, and it still won. Because this is a pure combat ship. And look at the cost difference. Alright? 28 crew, 163. 38 crew, 221. And the speed-wise is probably very similar too. So that would be more of your real test. You see how very limited head versus head 1v1. And the difference is because they're closer to the power, mine can keep firing. Yes, some of them do go red because I don't have an actual level 3 power core. But you can see there's a big difference. See how you guys are spending all this time walking? Where here, mine can quickly go and come back. And I have people sitting at the generator waiting to go in to constantly keep going. And because I can fire more, that's the only reason I win. Because in theory, yours should win if you had walkways and more speed. So, something to think of, because you definitely have more armor, you have more capability, but it's all about your crew getting to power laser as fast as possible. I know people are sitting in there, but at least they're constantly firing as much and as fast as possible. So that's the difference right there. Okay, something to think about on that ship. All right, Japhix. Let's go to Japhix. Now Japhix has, let's pull this over here. I don't know if people can see it. Hold on, let me double check to see where this is. Drag this down here. Okay, so we are looking at a Ragnarok 7. Ragnarok 7. He made changes and he changed Ragnarok 7. So let's come over here and let's pull this out and let's look for Steam Workshop, browse stop, and we're looking for Ragnarok 7. Ragnarok 7. Alright, here we go, Japhix. There's a whole nother ship. Let's come over here and... Oops. Go back. Here it is. Hit the little plus button. This will download it. Back to game. Now we have Ragnarok 7. Let's pull in Ragnarok 7. Alright, Ragnarok 7 versus another Ragnarok 7. Let's take a look at this. He did keep the 2 double shield design. I like that. He has 3 lasers, 3 of these ions instead of just 2 now. Look at this. Massive. I like the cannon placement. Shields are going. He's got 6 lasers, and this is just... You just have to compare it to the original Ragnarok. You just have to see the original. Because this original Ragnarok 6 that he showed to me. So, 270 crew. He reduced the crew. He increased the cost, but he reduced the crew. So, very nice. Optimized it a lot more. You see right here, here's the original Ragnarok 6. You see just 4 on each side, so 8 ion beams, only 2 of the shields. And look at this thing eat away. It's a nice ship. Okay, I'm concerned about this right here. You see how these are not powered? Okay, so he only has 1 here. What are these generators for? But you see how your thrusters right here are not powered? This is letting you lose maneuverability by a lot. See, all these are not powered. So Japhix, when or if you watch this, and you see these are not powered. That's not powered, that's not powered. But you see right here, this is not powered. What's going on? You have all these crews sitting here, but that's not powered. So I need to figure out what's going on there, because that's just... No dedications there. Okay, you have dedications there. These are dedicated to that. But... What are these? Movement assistance? What are movement assistance for? I'm kind of curious what movement assistance are for. Are they for your engines? Okay, they are. So, engine room supply battery is 8. What else are they doing? Like I have this strange... Okay, power capacitor is also 8. So I would say 9 and 9. Let's give that a shot. Hold on. Because you had all those guys sitting there. It just makes me wonder. Ragnarok 7 1.1. Alright, let's give this a shot. Ragnarok 7 1.1. We'll pull on the new Ragnarok. Alright, we're gonna make some changes to this because this is just interesting. Like, I see the crew sitting there. I want them to do something. The right-hand side is doing better than the left-hand side for whatever reason. So I can't really test it versus itself. So let's actually pull the original Ragnarok 6 back in so that we can give it a fighting chance and test it out. Alright. I want to see these boosters. I want to see what these crews are doing. We changed the priorities a little bit. Movement assistance. Okay, I have crew dedication there for that. See, we lost power again? Okay, people, these crew are definitely moving now. But these are both, that's red, this was not red. See how this is red and this is... Like, if your engines are not going, that's huge for battle. These should be powered. Like, even just as simply as doing something like this, because I know you have these for this, but I'm kind of just want to do something like that. I'm curious to see if it will work. Oh, I actually should do something. Okay, so that's there. This one's powered there. That one's powered to those. That one goes to that one. Let's see how that will do. Because that should work a tiny bit better. Save the ship 1.1. Let's give it another shot. Okay, now we have the dedications for these out to these two. It is going to eat the power, but that's okay. I actually should do this too, just to be safe. Because if your command line actually, if your command posts go out of power, that's even worse. Why is this guy running with this little chip all the way across the whole back of the ship? Literally, a guy grabbed a chip from here and ran all the way across the other side of the ship. That's no good. Or is it where? Is it these? Where did they grab the chip from? And why? Wait a second. Am I looking at the same ship? I thought I saved it. Maybe I didn't. I saved it in the wrong location. Saved it in the wrong... Yes. Okay. Let's double check to see if I did everything right. So that's dedicated there. That's dedicated to that. He's dedicated to that. Okay. Better. Which also means I didn't fix these either. It saved it to the wrong spot. So this should be... Okay, it did save it to the right spot. Never mind. Okay, they're doing power chips, power chips, power chips. That's out of power. Understandable. That still ran out of power. Alright, we need to change that. Lose that dedication. Save the ship design. Go one more time. It's too much. It was drawing too much power from back here. I want the command post to never ever exude power, so this can go to here. It's looking better. Huh. It's still going out of power. I would think about some power issues back here. Even if like this was a small generator, just one right here, it might actually even be better than the capacitors. That's what I'm seeking. Trying to fix this here. How much would it cost to dump both of those? This is 4K. This is that's actually a huge cost increase if I were to put a small reactor there. Honestly, I'd move this back and make this a medium reactor to support all the boosters, because this is having trouble enough for all of this. I don't know, you gotta fix your movement on the back there for your Ragnarok 7. I like all this front, I like all this. Now the other thing that I noticed too, that was a problem, is your bigger shields go down and they don't come back up quick enough. So if they come out here, this comes out here, if they cross up this way, I don't like this. This should be a straight up into here, not that. That's because that's closer, because you want power in. The longer walk should be the walk back. So what I mean by this here, because this is closer to the power generator, these should be up and this should be down, and this should be this way, just like that. And this way you have up, right in to supply, and then down should be the longer. Down should be the longer one. So that's up and up. Now, I'm a little concerned about this because it's still a longer walkway to get to that. So honestly, I would actually remove this one, because that's an in and out, so they can decide to come back here and they can come back out this way and go this way, so you're not slowing them down. Where? Watch the difference. Just a simple changing of walkways will help out the front, because I was noticing your bigger shields right here. Wait, I save it in the wrong spot again? Oh, no, I went to 1.2. Okay. There we go. Now these walkways are different, but it should, and I'm wondering where your dedication, do you have any dedications to? No. Okay, yes. Who's dedicated to the shields? See how the bigger shields are still not coming out fast enough? But it does make a difference. You see how the longer walk back should be the longer, but the quicker walk to your shield should be faster. And then these smaller shields too should also have dedications as well. And when I say dedications, you should have a crew dedicated to it, honestly. Security assistance, power assistance. What are these? These are power assistance, security assistance. I know you don't have that many dedications. Those guys are there. Here's the problem. If you don't dedicate the size of the ship with how this works, then people will run all over the place. Even if you were to take, because these really matter, and I would really have a crew dedicated, at least 6 guys dedicated just for those, right? And then another 6 guys dedicated just for these. Because those really are important key to your ship. You can choose other guys, or you can even choose less guys. But this way, when you have guys just dedicated for that, I'm watching these shields. See, the shields will perform just a tiny bit better when you have dedications. Some dedications. No, they're not performing better. Probably such a massive alpha strike type of ship right here. Jaffix, you have a monster of a beast. And I'd have to stare at this a lot longer to try to figure out what to fix. But hopefully this video will point out a few things, such as the boosters in the back. You probably want to optimize that better. You want to optimize at least something for these shields. I didn't like how this is reversed this way. This one should probably be put the other way, depending on how you want your dedications. Because now you could actually take this, or you could reverse this way. When I say reverse this way, you want to be closer to the power core. Like this is longer than coming straight out this way. This is shorter. See, all I mean is literally picking this up and flipping it around like that. That's now shorter. So, something to think about. There's a lot of things that you could improve on the ship. Just tiny little things here and there. And then power for this, like why is there no power to this? You have so many capacitors, you could literally put a capacitor in here and dedicate power to these factories. Because if the factory's not generating ammo, your damage per second goes down huge. Huge. Alright. That's what I have for that one. Let's go to the next one. And then he had a Sprocket 3, is what he said. I don't know if that's on camera or not. Sprocket 3, let's pull this down. Sprocket 3, there we go. Sprocket 3. So his next ship that he had, that's on the Steam community by the way. So add a ship, go browse Steam community. Let's look for Sprocket 3. Sprocket. Oh, I didn't hit the search button. Sprocket 3. Sprocket 3, here it is. We'll add this in. So this is an attempt for a missile type of ship. Sprocket 3. Interesting. Let's pull in Sprocket 3 again. 278,064 crew missile boat. Oh, I like these shields in the back protecting the boosters. And then he has back here, so he has stuff to actually even produce missiles. And then point defenses on the back for the back. Why don't we have any point defenses facing forward though? Either way, this is a cool ship for its cost. Look at it, 260. I have to face a ship that's worth closer to that. 263. None of these even. But I'm interested now. Now I have no point defenses on here. But I want to see how this handles. I'm pretty certain Sprocket 3, this missiles, look how fast it regenerates and can shoot missiles. Should at least do some damage. Should be able to take out the back. No dedications for there. You see how the people are not standing in it all the time. Not a fair representation, but it is a pretty cool missile boat. You can fix a few things. For example, crew dedications. So it only requires 2 crew for each one of those. So if you have 2, 4, 6, right? You just need 2 operators, which you have right here. Wait, you have them. Why were they getting out? You don't have them dedicated to the missiles. What are they dedicated to? Your missiles are your lifeblood for this. For this ship. If your missiles are not firing, then you're not doing damage. For this type of ship. I'm interested now. Sprocket 3.1. We're just changing crew placements here. Okay, now we have those dedicated to that. I didn't even check to see if they're dedicated to the role. Okay, they have an 8 operate, so they should never get out. Not a full fair representation, but I like this missile boat. It's kind of neat. At least we didn't see anybody get out of their seats to actually do something else, so that's pretty neat. I like it. Alright, let's get rid of this window. Let's get rid of this window. That's a cool ship, Jaffix. Definitely cool. Hosip has a bunch of new ships too. Again, Hosip, when you watch this, whenever you watch this, this was his first. This is not even the complete design. This was just one of his iterations he put in Discord. I don't even know what to say besides a monstrosity of a cool looking ship. Now this is not the final design. This was just one of his the first iterations. He had to change all the armor and everything on it. So let's pull in the final design. I believe this was his final design. Look at this thing. Look at this. I'm so curious about how this faces versus each other. I love this armor. You deserve your own faction. Imagine facing this in the game and looking at it. Now it's not painted or anything, but it doesn't need it. It's just a solid white. And all of his ships are normally always optimized to perfection. He's just spent so much time on it. I'm a little worried about these doors though. It's a little too many doors. You don't need this middle one. I can see the reasons for all those doors. This middle door right here is a waste. Just like this extra door here. It's probably a waste. I don't know if he changed it, but if this can beat... I know it can beat a Sorientis. Here, the whole reason to spark this, and I gave him this challenge, just for those that are joining or seeing this for the first time. There's a built-in ship, it's a Cabal, it's a Combat. It's the Sorientis, and I told him here, build a ship that's under 200,000 that could beat a Sorientis. Now I guarantee his ship can do that. Just looking at it, he had already built several designs. But look at this thing. A Sorientis is a powerful ship, but when you face it versus This is where the rail guns plus the ion beams come into. I think it's having a little bit of trouble with that, but look at that. And the movement on this. And they compacted this to so extreme. Look at this, how many lasers and ion beams and everything. And the movement on this ship. You can put this in the Steam Workshop, host it. I guarantee people would like it. This is a nice ship. I like it. I kind of want to use it. He has another iteration here. Now this one's with cannons. This came up the idea with the 1, 2, 3, 4, literally 8 cannons plus ions. And then he had this design with literally compact ions in the middle. So literally it's ions with cannons with shields. I know he called it the twins. I'm actually interested. How does the twins versus each other fight? One's 1833, and I definitely it's more crew because he requires for the cannons, the deck cannons. But look at this. What is this? 8 cannon monstrosity? I think the railguns with all these shields stands for advantage when they're pointing down each other like this. Yeah, you see how those railguns stand at a huge advantage? Oh, and the chain reacted, exploded everything inside. So, railguns versus cannons. Really, that's just beautiful. Okay, this was everyone was on this missile boat kick. Look at this missile boat. What? I'm interested for this missile boat. 100,244 crew. But see this missile boat? I showed him a bunch of designs to take from other iterations, because you see how this cross section? And just look at this. So if you look at, you see how all these missiles come out? But I love the missile boat design. So where I was coming from here, and I need to showcase this because I was explaining it before. So if you come over here to built-in ships, right? Design contest, May 23, awful tiers. Now the person that made the awful tier ship right here, or where it is, you take this design right here. You see how he has the cross-reference of these missiles back and forth with that? And then this is very nicely designed because you see how it comes in and the missiles can easily supply for each one of these. But this is actually copied, whoever did the design contest for May 23 awful tiers. They copied it from an Imperium ship. And the Imperium ship that I'm looking for, if I can find it, I'm pretty sure it's this one. So the Imperium ship right here, you see this? Exact same missile and everything design. So people copied it from somebody else. And so I was showcasing, here's some different missile designs because people were asking about missile boats. This is from an Imperium ship. The same thing were awful tiers, where all they did was just copied out this design and put it for their own design and put it on both sides. So that's how a lot of people, you know, they get ideas from other ships. And then from Hosep ship right here, if we come and look at Hosep ship, it has something very similar, but it's obviously different. And we look at this one right here, right? And this missile boat has similar concept, but it's a little bit different, right? But you have the factories in there and they layer stack. But when the missiles come out, you see how the missiles have this wide berth of damage that you can do. But it's all taken from this original Imperium ship. But I like the cost, the cheap cost of this one, and I like the movement on this ship. Look at how much movement he has, front and back. For a missile boat that can move, that's always what I wanted. So honestly, I want to take this design and use it in some fashion, because this missile boat can move. It really can. In fact, here, now I'm actually interested. I'm interested to see how this performs versus one of these. Now, cost-wise, the missile boat definitely is still more, as well as crew. But I wanted to see how my point defenses handle versus all these missiles, and how this ship handles versus one of my 6-cannon ships. Now, it's doing a ton of damage for the front. The point defenses, at least on the sides, are doing still well. But look how many missiles are coming at you. Now the defense on the front of the ship's still holding up, which is what you would expect from a missile boat. But look at the movement on this. Like if you had 2 missile boats, a part of your fleet, a missile boat like this that can move like it's moving, look at how much damage it sustained. And we haven't even touched the missiles yet. In fact, I think his missile boat is going to win, and it did, because of movement and because of the really nicely designed head on shield on that. I want to take this missile. This is. I'm sure I need to look at this ship some more, and I'm sure I could even touch it. Hey, Kayla Gaming #1, welcome. It was specially requested that I do more Cosmoteer content, or at least do one, because I hadn't done one for a while, so I'm making sure this gets out there. But this ship right here, oh, look at these walkways, look at this. I never thought to do something like this. Are you guys watching this? You ever thought to do walkways like that? And that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this is a fun game. This is how I started out making it more bigger in YouTube. Sorry, host. I need to save this ship somewhere and play with it because yeah, I need to play with this ship. I'm gonna play with it more later when I have more time. But I am sure there's things to look at, and then I'll give you another iteration. I don't think I have the time to spend to look at this to that extreme. But this is a pretty missile ship. This is a missile boat that I want to play with because it's just cool. I like all the EMP on the back. I like all of it. It's neat. Even versus each other. Yeah, I like it. I really like it. Because you see this wide berth of how these all angle, and then you're hitting from all these different angles to really annihilate another ship. I really like it. I really do. Alright, let's move on to one last ship. So Hosip was kind enough and nice enough to come in, and he added one of his ships to the Steam Workshop. So if you browse the Steam Workshop, I think he called it Flame Burge. I spelled it wrong, but I still found it. Let's find it. It is now shared on the Steam Workshop. Really nice. I think here we've already showcased this ship, but here it is. Let's just pull in two of them just so you can see it. Honestly, this looks like one of those fantasy swords that come out of Korea for sure. If you play any of those Korean games, this is a ship to be proud of. I mean, obviously the railguns took each other out, but it's a really pretty design. I like how he had his shields in the back. Look at that. Had the protection in the back. Big shields in the back. How much does this game cost? That's a good question. I don't think it's that expensive. Hold on, let me go check for you. That's a great question there. Kilo Gaming number 1. Let me come over here. I want to go to... I'm just gonna look it up on Steam. Cosmoteer. $19.99. Not on sale. There's a link inside my comments, inside my description on this live stream, going directly to the Steam store. And I have a lot of content on Cosmoteer in my YouTube channel. So if you want to learn some of the basics, you can literally just watch my No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage episodes, starting from episode 1, where I literally play the game from start all the way up to like episode 35, 36. I need to make another No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage episode for sure, because I haven't finished out the game. But it will teach you a lot of things. A lot of people learn. That's how a lot of people joined my Discord channel and got into where they're at now. But this is a game that requires a lot of building, a lot of time, a lot of patience to build a lot of cool ships. And a lot of these ships that you have in here, I have that I built out. Now, I was playing around with this a little bit, and I'm going to showcase some of my ships now because I haven't done this in a long time. So I went over here and I started testing out some armor because I really wanted to actually build out more armor for the front here for these. So you can see right here I added these like little claw things for these ships. So I was just, excuse me, I had to cough. I was playing around with the armor a little bit on my actual 6 cannon ship to play around with it a little bit. This is just one iteration, and then I came in and I started building more iterations of it, right? And I went to test 1, 2, 3, 4, And it really was, I was just playing around with armor where I added even more of this, more protection. And literally even with this and this, you see these, they can still shoot out. So I was really playing around with armor, but you see how it's a weak point versus my own ships? Now faces AI ships, this does add a whole lot more protection. But you see how it's a huge weak point and then it gets cut off? So I was really trying to consider it. And the other problem too is when you do add in the extra layer of armor there, you're blocking this bigger shield. So you add some, you lose some. And then I have one more iteration of this. I haven't really touched on it, but I'm trying to actually build it out some more. And again, I'm playing with it. I'm just fooling around. As I took off less armor for more weight reduction and added in this just to see how it would perform. You see how they can still shoot out? And the bigger shield. And when I add it in this way, you see how now they're targeting the outsides? It's armor to AI to ratio. And even though I lost this cannon, that's not a big deal because I still have this cannon right here that can go in. So this is why 1.5, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is better than these ones in some scenarios, depending on where the AI is shooting, right? Now my biggest problem is when I add in all this extra armor, it adds in weight, and I lose maneuverability. So I'm still going through test case scenarios on it, but I haven't given up. I'm working on my ships. I still definitely need to improve and work on it. And then I also still need to do a No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage, because I know there's still a lot of people that are waiting for that type of content, and I want to make sure I get it pushed out. But as you can see, I'm playing a lot of different games: Core Keeper, Albion Online, and Cosmoteer. And just wherever time permits and whatever I can play, we'll push out and do what we can. Anyways, I think this is a good place to stop this episode. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to smash the like button. It helps me out, helps out the channel, helps other people actually get to view and see what's going on. If you would like, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. It helps me out a ton. Helps me be able to realize what my audience likes to see. And I learn and grow from either or type of comments that you leave. If you have not already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay as well. Come back once a week, once a month, check out what content I have, and or come back daily, because I am streaming daily. Currently, even sometimes I'm streaming more than once daily. So I have different type of content going, different type of shows going. These are all just games that I like to play and other people like to play as well or see. Again, thank you all so much for being here, and you all have a wonderful rest of your day.